Welcome to Motovision and issue 6. In this wrap-up, we go to Southwick and Buchanan in the USA, where Ricky Carmichael and Jeff Emig continue their stampede in their respective classes. Then to the Finnish 125 GP, where Chiodi extends his lead and Britain's Jamie Dobb gets onto the podium. To Venezuela and a mishap for Tortelli with a major injury that will keep him out for the rest of the year. To the French 500 GP, and it's all eyes on the YZM 4-stroke that has been so sensational in 1997. To Indonesia, Yves de Maria takes on the Kawasaki ride and debuts with 2 fine wins. And then on to the Belgium 500 GP, where Joel Smets extends his World Championship hopes. So that's a full program for issue 6. From all of us at Motovision, we hope you enjoy it.
Hello everyone, Art Ekman, David Bailey, and Davey Combs from Southwick, Massachusetts. This historic track celebrating its 25th anniversary as we cut to the Suzuki track map, David.
Once they leave the cement starting grid, it's an uphill drag race to a wide first turn before dropping into the woods. The track here this year is the same as it always is. It's a good enough layout. Why mess with it? But the rain is changing the texture of the soil.
I would imagine it'd be better off in the sand-like soil that we've got here for draining purposes than it would like in Mount Morris.
Absolutely. You start watering a clay surface, it gets slick, everyone gets muddy, they all go down in the first corner.
Who will get the whole shot honors here with the 125 first moto? They're off and up the hill they go. Wyndham with a very good start on the inside. He gets the whole shot. Michael Brandis, bad luck at the very beginning. Here's Wyndham, number 7. On the outside, Sheik takes a ride. Craig takes the lead, number 15, Honda of Troy rider. Michael, Craig, and Wyndham battling bar to bar.
Well, that was awesome. Craig just came right across the inside, took the line right away. It looked like a great hole shot.
Oh, look at that. Sheik bounced off the edge of the race course. Did you see who the other rider was, David?
I couldn't tell. It looked like number 883.
That would be James Brothers then. After a good start, there's Sheik getting up and back into the race now, number 29, the Team Honda rider. Michael Craig out in front of Kevin Wyndham. Craig 14th in the standings last year here. Had to go all the way to the LCQ before he made the main event. Then he performed fairly well, a 6 and 7.
Ali Seymour getting ready to tell Kevin to go smooth through the corners, but when you're following like this, trying to dodge that roost, it's hard to see your line.
Down that short, rough straightaway near the finish line. Kevin Wyndham takes the new line to the outside. Now cuts inside on Michael Craig. He has recaptured the lead. Look at Ricky Carmichael.
Look at Kevin. As soon as he gets the lead, pulls a tearaway. You know he could barely see. He had to make that pass. You got to save your vision. Carmichael's also been sprayed.
Ricky Carmichael, number 7, he takes to the inside, and all of a sudden Michael Craig goes from first to third. Currently leading, Kevin Wyndham, number 7 on the Team Yamaha, and right behind him on the Pro Circuit Kawasaki is number 70, Ricky Carmichael. Not that far back in third now is Robbie Reynard. Carmichael with a good head of steam and winning his 4 of 5 events has taken 7 of the 10 motos. Carmichael to the inside. David, he made it look easy.
Well, I'll tell you, it's not easy. This kid is riding so aggressive. Look at him here. Well, he's all the way off to the back of the seat, just muscling his way through those holes. Right past Wyndham. Wyndham's got to be thinking, geez, you know, I thought I was going through there pretty fast. If you're going to go that much faster, you can have it. It looks to me like Kevin's standing up, just trying to save energy and take good lines. He knows it's a long moto. It's going to be a long second moto. But he's got to be a little bit more aggressive right now because Reynard, and well, there goes Reynard right down to the inside.
On the same area that Reynard went down last year, Dowd plowing into him. Reynard takes second place away from Kevin Wyndham.
This guy's dropping down into the pit. This is back by the pond where they head up the hill. On a 125, if you don't get a good run out of that berm, it takes you all day to climb that hill. And you head back out of the woods. Already there, Sheik make another pass. So he is just on it. He's riding as hard as he can go, and Barry just punts Pingree over the berm. There's only one line at the bottom of that hill, and it's really hard to get to it. Coming down the hill, it's so rough. And that berm is all the way to the inside. A lot of guys overshoot it. Barry came in there and just barely made it in and forced Pingree to the outside.
We're looking right now at the battle for 5th place. Scott Sheik, number 29, taking on Tony LaRusso. LaRusso, a lot of fans on this track, but Scott Sheik, who after crashing twice on the first lap, there's where he crashed the first time. moves into 5th place. Great effort by Scott Sheik. This is where Raynard went down last year and separated his shoulder. Takes the inside route on Ricky Carmichael. Can he establish the lead? Yes. Raynard becomes the first rider to pass Ricky Carmichael, with Carmichael in the lead this year.
Here's another look. Raynard just hugging that inside. The racetrack for him was about 30 or 40 feet shorter than Carmichael. I don't think Ricky realized how much time he was going to lose by going wide, or he'd have never left that door open.
What a number 1 moto we have here in 125s. Robbie Raynard is the 4th leader of this race. Davey Coombs in the mechanics area now has moved over to Tom Wallace.
Hi, you just made the pass on Carmichael. Are you surprised at the way Robbie's riding?
No, not at all. This track is very like his track at home. And he's been working out really hard the last 4 weeks, so coming strong at the end is no surprise.
You know, he's probably the first rider this year to take a lead away from Carmichael outdoors.
Yeah, well, hopefully we're going to do it a lot more times.
Robbie Raynard, number 24. Ready for a checkered flag in honor of his team, Primal Honda, preparing that bike. But checkers are out. Raynard's first moto win of the season. Robbie Raynard takes the goggles off. Let's check out now the official listing. Moto number 2 of the 125s. You see Robbie Raynard, number 24. Doesn't get the good break. It's number 7, Kevin Windham once again. And look at Michael Craig again.
Almost looks like a replay of the first moto, and there you got LaRusso and Pingree down, tangled up. LaRusso's stuck between the bikes. So no chance for him to get out there and lead the moto in front of his hometown fans like last year from that position, that's for sure. Carmichael, this time, is right there.
Carmichael in a much better position. And look at number 42 in front of number 15. That's Scott Carter, another local rider from Ashford, Connecticut. Ron Titchener, another good start for him. Out in front, though, Ricky Carmichael takes the lead away from the hole shooter, Kevin Windham.
Jeez, you know, he talked about being a little bit too aggressive in the first moto early. Did you see that pass? Boy, wide open, just cut the line away, came up that hill. Looked like he's on a 250.
Scott Sheik is down. It doesn't look like he wants to get up too quickly either.
No, he is definitely, that's a fast section right there. And fortunately, the line he likes is in the middle where no one else is going. Otherwise, he'd be in real trouble.
There goes Decker flying by. Scott Sheik asking for help. He mentioned earlier on our telecast about the bad luck that he and Windham have been having. He's been second in the points for a long time, but fading quickly now.
Doesn't look like he's going to get any points this moto. Look at Titchener down the inside.
Good move by Ron Titchener. Oh, what a roost he put up in Carter's face. Does it again on the next berm.
And Carter, as he got past, came out of that corner, looked over his shoulder like, uh-oh, okay, who's next?
Oh, this is an impressive performance by Titchener. And here comes Michael Craig. Craig cutting in front of Carter. Ricky Carmichael is putting on about 2 seconds a lap in the lead. As we take a look once again and double check Scott Sheik's situation, does not look good.
Here comes that battle for third. Titchener leading the pack. Craig followed him right around Carter, but Carter's still hanging on tough. He knows this track. Not like LaRusso last year. The local guys, oh, look at that.
Oh, they touch. Carter makes the move on Michael Craig.
Boy, that's going to really send a message to Craig. He probably thought that was a done deal once he made the move, and Carter comes right back.
Is that Ferry behind Craig? Craig's not through yet getting challenged.
No, it looks like that outside through there is starting to become the fastest line. Craig's way over to the inside.
That is Ferry, number 22, Team Suzuki. Ferry cuts to the inside on Craig.
Ferry, a lot like Titchener, coming from basically the same area in Florida. I think these guys have ridden together quite a bit. And they're both obviously comfortable in the sand. Ferry keeping the pressure on Carter. Carter going wide. Not a good idea. Ferry right to the inside, makes the pass.
I was mentioning earlier, David, it was quite a rehab session for Mikel Pichon this year.
Sure, anytime you see a broken femur, especially the way that he broke it at the opening round at LA Supercross, it was a horrible crash. That thing was bending in the wrong direction. And look at him fly through that section around the outside. I pointed out earlier, Craig was using that inside. It's not as fast. And there he paid the price. Pichon has certainly had some physical problems in the outdoors, and maybe that broken leg and the rehab may have cured that problem, because sometimes you have an injury and you got to work so hard to overcome it. Flexibility and regain your strength, and the other leg gets stronger, then you got to even them out. probably in better shape now than he was before he got hurt. Now, we pointed this out at Budds Creek, the fact that Tishner was up there battling with Tim Ferry, the factory Suzuki rider. Tishner just kind of decided, well, I think I'll ride a few nationals this year, and got a little bit of help, and he's out there smoking.
Oh! Just he just said that, he went flying, caught that front wheel, went over the bars.
Boy, look at this. Watch his front wheel right here. Let's see that braking bump? Boom. Gets caught in it, hits that next one, and that's that.
There's Pichon moving into third. Let's go down to the mechanics area, and Davey.
Tony, we were watching a battle between Mikkel and Tim Ferry. It looks like Mikkel's moved up to third. Are you surprised he's this good of a sand rider?
Yeah, he's riding really good in the sand. Yeah, it surprised me. He's got a really good line going on over there, and he blew by a couple guys there, so he's looking good. Moved into third. He might get third overall if he keeps the pace up. We'll see how Renard does. Renard's pretty far back, but hopefully I'm happy with this ride. He's riding really well.
Kevin Windham has really got a challenge on his hands right now as Ricky Carmichael has a huge lead. But it's Mikkel Pichon and Tim Ferry, both Team Suzuki riders, now starting to hound Windham for second place. Oh, a mistake by Windham. Pichon makes the pass.
Watch Windham right here. He comes out of the berm. He gets a little bit too much to the inside. And it turns into kind of an off-camber on those little tree roots and stuff right there. And Pichon rides right by us. The worst feeling in the world, too. When you're riding good, you're in second. You don't notice anybody back there. They start catching you, and it was very obvious to me that Windham is getting tired. He didn't have a whole lot of left in there to retaliate. Those guys come right around you. You look bad out there. You know you're looking bad, and there's nothing you can do about it. Just too tired.
Ferry moving into third, getting around Windham. Mikkel Pichon, his finest moto of the season. Brock Glover won the title at 17, but the youngest to win a 125 title back in 1974, Marty Smith, a mere 16 years of age, David.
I remember that too. Marty was one of the first guys to come along and have a lot of style as Carmichael takes a checkered flag. He had that surfer ripped build, and he was pretty handsome. They call him the Teen Idol and the Bionic Man. He had all kinds of nicknames, but what he did have was a lot of style and kicked some butt when he was young.
One not in the field is Doug Henry after breaking both arms at Budds Creek.
I just got out of the hospital. I wasn't supposed to, but I got out Friday. They did surgery on me Friday morning, and they said, yeah, I guess you can leave tonight. And my wife and I drove back and said, oh, I think I'll come to the race. You know, I came later on. I didn't come for practice or qualifying or anything like that. Just came out for the races.
You can see it coming down. The sign is sideways. The gate's going to fall. The good news is everyone's already got a mud tire because that's the kind of tires you use in the sand.
Okay, moto number one underway. Who's going to get that hole shot? Ryan Hughes in good position. Oh, we got a pile up there in the first corner. Buddy Antonez got popped from behind. The hole shooter, though, this guy, John Dowd, number 14, Team Yamaha. He dedicated this race to his teammate, Doug Henry, before they took off. Ezra Lusk and Ryan Hughes right there. Hughes, number 9, Lusk, number 11, 12 is Phil Lawrence. Also, Swink with a good start. Number 14, John Dowd, out in front. Well, he's got this whole crowd behind him here in Southwick, Massachusetts. He's from Chicopee. He's been riding well lately in the 250 class. You see Ryan Hughes, number 9. Oh, his teammate, Jeff Emmig's down. Looked like he went down hard. You can hear the crowd this early in the race. Guess who they're for? And, of course, Doug Henry looking on from the side.
Well, that's just painful to me. You sure hate to see anything happen like that to Doug after all that he's been through. I know he's tough, but I'm tired of seeing him prove it. Need to replace everything with titanium. Then we could see him race a little more often.
I just say get as big a points lead as you can and then forget about Budds Creek.
Yeah.
That's his
Skip that
nemesis, right? Here's the battle with Albertine, Team Suzuki, number 8. Approaching Lawrence, number 12. Team Chaparral cuts in front. Good to see Albie back on the track.
He makes up a spot. Wasn't easy, actually. He didn't get it. Phil Lawrence just gassed it right back around, but then he just squared it. Now he's chasing Swink, so with Jeremy out of the picture, Albertine finally works his way around Lawrence.
Oh, McCormick is down. There goes Voss head over heels, getting a headache. Nice, look out, number 85. Terlecki, Wallace, number 40, he gets hung up. There's no way you can warn those riders.
Oh, look at this. It's one right after the other. As soon as they drop over that embankment, the bike Still in the air. Watch the next guy. I mean, there's nothing they could do. They can't correct right there. And just one right after another. McCormick kind of got that start. He didn't mean to, but can you imagine what's left of his bike?
Oh, baby. 103 is Swink, and Albertine is on the move.
Working their way across that top straightaway before they drop down. This is the longest left-hand corner I think there is. It seems like a 360-degree corner.
Did Albertine throw it through that corner? As we take a look at this battle between now Mike LaRocco and Jimmy Button. Button looking back as Mike LaRocco's pretty much choosing his line. LaRocco to the inside eventually, and Mike LaRocco moves up a notch into 5th place. Jimmy Button giving him all kinds of room, not riding very aggressive. Manchester Honda versus Honda of Troy. Bradshaw to the inside of Larry Ward. Nice move by Damon, who's had a very, very interesting year.
Well, if you can just come down that straightaway anywhere near the guy in front of you and take that inside line, it looks like you can make the pass every time. That's what we've seen so far today, and Bradshaw executed it perfect.
Back to Team Yamaha. It was announced before the race that Ezra Lusk would not be returning to Team Yamaha. He'll be going to Team Honda.
That's just amazing to me. And Ezra has really matured into a great 250 rider. Last year on Suzuki's, really coming on strong towards the end of the year, as is Bradshaw. Works his way around Button, so Button's starting to fade.
Mike LaRocco making a push now with Damon Bradshaw, number 10. On the Manchester Honda, Mike LaRocco, Team Suzuki, cuts to the inside. What a beautiful move by Mike.
Well, that's what Bradshaw just did a little earlier, but then he had it done right back to him. Just like I said, whoever comes down that straightaway and can hold that inside all the way through there, sounds easy enough, but as you drop down that hill, it keeps turning away from you. Like I said, that's the longest left-hander I've ever seen, and LaRocco hugged it inside the whole way, and it paid off for him.
Bradshaw, a little bobble there, but whoa, look at that jump. Really putting the heat now on LaRocco. Bumps the back tire. That doesn't dissuade Bradshaw to keep that throttle open, does it?
No, he was aggressive, trying to come right back. LaRocco occupied the best line. He moved over, tried to find another one. Here he goes again down the inside.
LaRocco winning this race back in 1994 with a 2-1. Bradshaw makes the pass on LaRocco. Jeff Emig still weeding his way up through the pack. Saw one rider flip his goggles in the air there as he went by the mechanics area.
Emig wide open around the outside, works his way around LaRocco, moving up one more spot. He's going to put a few more points on McGrath by doing that.
Checkered flag is out and ready for John Dowd here in Moto number 1. John Dowd's teammate Ezra Lusk, number 11. For him, his 3rd consecutive top 2 performance in motos. Let's go back to Davey.
Yogi, you seem to be on a real roll. That's 3 good motos in a row, and carved out 2nd here in the sand. Congratulations.
Thanks a lot. I had a little bit of problems early on. It started raining, and hands got a little slippery and pumped up a little bit, and I stalled it here in this corner. And I was off the pace from there on out, but I was able to hold on to 2nd. You know, I think me and JD here want to dedicate this one to Doug. You know, he was a big support out there. He was around the whole track out there. Here he is here. Bow cast on his arm, and he was running around the track swinging him like a windmill.
Rain dampening as Buddy Antonez gets ready. He's this year's Arena Cross champion. Look at number 6, way to the outside, David.
That's not a bad strategy.
Let's see how Larry Ward can take advantage of it.
Lusk was out there with him. So he can come all the way around the outside. Look at that, Lusk and Larry Ward, both of them avoid that jam on the inside. Worked out perfect.
Oh, and Lawrence, LaRocco, and look at Bradshaw, number 10, getting caught up. I bet they wish they were to the outside where Larry Ward was.
They're right there in the middle. The guys from the inside and the outside come together. You're in the middle, and if you didn't get a good start, you're just pinched off. That's what happened.
The 2 guys fighting for the whole shot, John Dowd and Suzuki's Jeremy McGrath. It was Dowdy once again getting the whole shot. Look out for number 14, Deja Vu. John Dowd, our leader right now. Jeremy McGrath still in 2nd place, but he's having a hard time holding on to number 14. Ryan Hughes in 3rd.
Geez, reaching up to pull a tear off in that berm one-handed. That's a good way to wad it up right there.
What happened to Casey Johnson earlier, coming down this very area right here when he reached up and caught the front wheel. Ryan Hughes, very aggressive once again. Here's Lusk in about 5th position. Number 11 in good position. Whoa! Hughes had a hard time holding on to that pony. Jeremy McGrath has his hands full right now. Larry Ward, Honda of Troy, battling for 2nd place. Oh, nice move by Ward. Got to be a rainbow somewhere on this course. I mean, they went through rain on the other end of it. Now they got sunshine here on the top end as they go down into the intersections of this track. Jeff Emig, number 1, riding very well. Ezra Lusk breaking a string of good performances going down. He'll lose some points on that as he's been trying to.
Well, that's a bummer, and usually you can just sit on it and bump start the bike. Look at all that energy he's got to use. It's tiring enough out there riding. Then he went down. His front fender's tweaked. Everything's tweaked. Looked like the bars might be bent, so there goes this motor.
After moving up to 4th place from 9th at Budds Creek with that victory, he was hoping to move up in the point standings. Here's Hughes and Emig, teammates on Team Kawasaki.
Boy, Emig just finessed his way down that hill. I don't know how he made it into that berm. See, he was coming in a little bit too far to the left, a little wide, but he still was able to find his way. And look at the way they go right between those 2 big braking bumps there to get into that berm. Still pretty clean, too. The only guy out there you can recognize from the front.
While we were on Dowdy, the pass was made. Emig getting by McGrath. Whoa, look at Emig put on the throttle.
Oh, he just flew through that corner. That berm is just full of those deep holes he was talking about. He just skimmed the tops. And reeling in Larry Ward right now. A great ride. He's had some good guys. He had to move around. His teammate, McGrath. Now Larry Ward. Lusk made it a little easier by going down. Look at the drive. He got into that corner.
Looked like Willie Mays going for a deep drive in center field. I mean, he made it look so easy.
Well, that corner at the bottom really determines how fast he can get up that hill.
And another thing about Dowdy is he goes by what's really a rider's section up there on the hill, especially the 125 guys that aren't in this race. Everybody likes him. He takes the checkers for the 2nd time in a row here this afternoon.
All right, John, congratulations. This one has to feel good. Your first overall win at your home track.
This feels so good. I can't even tell you. I mean, I feel like I've been trying here forever. You know, it seems like forever, and I've always had some kind of bad luck, or just I get stupid out there, or whatever. But man, I'm so happy. I just managed to calm down and just kind of put it together today. Feels so good.
You pretty much ran away at the 2nd moto, so why don't you tell us what it felt like on the victory lap?
I don't know. I couldn't hear my bike, and it's just great. I mean, there's so many people here, and the fans here are just so great. You know, they're behind us local guys all the way, and there's no better place to go racing for me.
Great feeling for that young man. In 6 events, 5 different winners. Kind of sounds like a Supercross season not long ago. Round 7 from Brett Budd, Track and Trail. Art Ekman and David Bailey along with Davey Coombs. Doug DeMocus, the Wheelie King.
Doug's been all over the world popping wheelies, but he got to start right here in Michigan.
As we look at the Suzuki track map, Ricky Carmichael takes us through it.
There's some downhills, and it's a little muddy in practice. So they watered it a lot and plowed it up. There's some good jumps. I don't know about that Larocco leap thing on a 125. You're not going to see me doing it, but other than that, some good tabletops, some doubles, a little triple, and I don't know, ready to rock.
Art, the track here at Redbud is one of the longer tracks. You can see the long, wide starting area, fast first turn. And the Larocco's lead that he was talking about has been made quite a bit steeper this year, so the 125s will have trouble there.
A very fast track and not too much room for passing once you get by this wide area. Wyndham, a great start. Deegan is right there. Lamson, Skaggs, Pashone, Casey Johnson. All good starts. It's Wyndham, the hole shooter.
Ryder clipping the hay bale and going down. That is amazing to me to think that Kevin Wyndham has not won a race this year. And he's had his opportunities. He's been out front just like he is here, but it's been bad luck. It's kept him from winning the moto, and I would think that's got to come to an end here pretty soon.
It's a Team Honda battle for 2nd place, number 29, Scott Sheik and Steve Lamson. What a strong start for Steve, just coming back into it.
Steve has always gotten good starts, and he's going to get an opportunity to look at Wyndham, who's been at least one of the fastest riders out there this season in this class.
Well, this is the first of 4 motos on the afternoon, and the track is really, in some places, getting rutted up big time.
Yeah, already very choppy coming out of some of the berms and the switchbacks down in the valley. Up here, it always stays pretty smooth, especially when they go into the start area. They keep that disc up.
Whoa, Carmichael banging a little bit. Ricky Carmichael trying to take over 4th place, does so.
And it was a pretty aggressive move. He had to get in there and bang a little bit. You know, that's about as polite as he could be to make that pass, and I think Pichon isn't upset with it. He knew that he left the door open a little bit right there, and Carmichael was just close enough to take advantage.
Well, this has been a very polite race so far compared to your days.
Well, there were times during my... Geez, look at Carmichael right there, flying all the way up into the corner. He is desperate right now to make some ground on this man right here. Wyndham is starting to disappear from his view.
Kevin Wyndham, of course, very good friends with his mechanic, Ali Seemeyer, and Davies with Ali down in the pit area.
Ali, it looks like Kevin's checking out again, but are you guys at all nervous that bad luck's going to creep up?
I sure hope not. I mean, it's in the back of my mind. I don't think it's in the back of his too much. He forgets about it, but I don't know. We've had some pretty crappy luck in this outdoor season, and hopefully it's changing right now.
Hey, what's with these starts? That's 3 hole shots in a row.
I don't know. He's just timing the gate good, and that Yamaha's pulling him great.
Ali Seemayer's taking nothing for granted. I don't blame him either. Lammy is starting to make a little phone call saying, "I'm coming, teammate."
Yeah, and Sheik doesn't want to pick it up. He's just going to let the recorder get this one. He doesn't want to mess. He wants to prove to Steve, no, you know, while you've been gone, I've picked up the pace a little bit there, pal, so just follow me around, check it out.
Scott Sheik, a pretty gutsy rider. He's had some hefty crashes this year, but has come back fighting all the way.
I'd imagine with the way he's ridden, as smooth as he's looked out there, he hasn't used a whole lot of energy, and he's going to have a little more time to rest than everyone else because he'll be in the pits about an extra few minutes.
Well, we call him a future superstar, but he's getting there so rapidly. Not a heck of a lot of close, exciting action in the Moto #1. But the surprise, of course, Wyndham getting his first victory. Hot set now, revving it up. Any moment now, and Moto 2 is underway. Number 28, Deegan on the inside of the Suzuki got the whole shot. So the privateer took the whole shot. But the front runners are right there. You see Sheik, number 29, moving into second place. Carmichael not far behind.
Looked a little scary as he entered the first turn. Carmichael started to lean into the inside. Deegan was there, and he had to correct. Took his foot off. That could have been a bad pileup. They've had him here before at Redbud.
Brian Deegan, who opened a lot of eyes during the Supercross season, winning and then launching his bike. How can you forget that victory? But he's had his injury problems ever since. Scott Sheik to the inside, takes the lead here in Moto #2. You heard him after Moto #1 saying, hey, if I got a shot, I'm going to be more aggressive. Number 70, though, Ricky Carmichael is right behind Deegan.
Carmichael, a little bit like Hannah that way, very aggressive, and he rides that style, gets a little out of shape, it doesn't bother him.
Carmichael in a battle for second place. Comes up wheel to wheel. Deegan has the inside. And then cutting inside to take second place now, Ricky Carmichael. What a great move. Deegan was trying to protect one side. Ricky just changed his mind and went the other.
That was smart. Now you see Carmichael clearing his vision. They put a little water down on the racetrack, usually between motos. They do that here and there, and the farther up front you can be, the less roost you're going to get. There's a little bit more water they put down leading up to this Larocco's Leap. Ricky laying it over.
Ricky Carmichael has a good shot if he can take the lead. Ricky Carmichael to the inside. Can he hold on? Yes, Ricky Carmichael is now our leader. Tough to beat when he gets out front, but Scott Sheik, very aggressive now.
Well, these are two of the stockiest, strongest, most aggressive riders on the track. Watch Ricky, goes right to the outside. Goes for the inside rut, but then he drifts all the way to the outside and makes sure he makes that pass stick. As he hit that jump, bar to bar with, if I can use your line there, Art, with Scott Sheik, he pulls a tear off right there going, this is no big thing.
Oh, Scott Sheik does a face plant, and he's hurt. It looked like he put his shoulder down and then his head into the dirt. more hard times for Scott Sheik. That's the third race in a row. As we take a look at a real good battle between Steve Lamson, goes to the inside on Brian Deegan. Deegan, who got a great start the whole shot, now finds himself going backwards as Ron Titchener is on his tail, and Wyndham is right behind Titchener.
That's a great cluster battle there. I can't believe that Wyndham was able, or Lamson was able to make that pass heading down into the corner. It didn't seem like there was very much room.
And here in Moto number 2, number 7 must pass number 1 if he's to get his first overall of the season.
He's definitely made up some time. But ever since he's caught Lamson, he hasn't been able to do anything else. He's just stayed at this distance, so maybe Lamson has adjusted to that pace and isn't that worried about him anymore.
David, let's go back into your memory book a little bit. Was there a point in time when you had a situation like this? You had to pass somebody for the overall.
Of course, and it happened here in '86. As a matter of fact, in the 500 Nationals, I had to pass Ron Lechien to beat Johnson for the overall. Couldn't do it, so it was Johnson's birthday, and he got his present.
This is the kind of racing we've been waiting for, that's for sure.
Everyone anticipated the Wyndham-Lamson duel. Been pretty much everything but after the first round. Look at that.
Oh!
That was slick, right down the inside. Even the times when he wins a race, he's still thinking, well, I could have ridden a lot better. And that's the drive that you have to have in motocross to stay on top.
And he goes to the right people to answer the questions.
Well,
he's always seeking knowledge.
I think, yeah, he's very open-minded and he wants to learn. And he's got a great big bag full of tricks. And, you know, I think he's one of the few guys out there that wants to win really bad all week.
Lays it out. A salute to the fans and a great crowd.
Yeah, I think the people are going to love this kid more and more because he is definitely a showman.
The checkers, Ricky Carmichael, his 8th moto win in 14 motos so far this year. Look at John Dowd reaching out in front, jumping up and down. Dowdy's coming off the overall victory, of course, at his home track. What a great thrill that was in front of friends and family. Gate could drop at any moment. Right now, they're off for moto number 1 of the 250s. And guess who's out front? Jeff Emig. Emig breaking a mini slump in hole shots. He hasn't had one since the first moto way back at Hangtown.
That's unbelievable, too. Emig is probably the best starter I've ever seen. And to not have a hole shot in that long is just amazing. But he's got it here. Last couple of races, he's had to come from behind, great charges from behind to save those points, build that points lead, stay ahead of McGrath. But here, it's going to be a lot easier for him.
Emig, Lusk to the inside, challenges him there from second place. Oh, bar to bar. Lusk and Emig with Dowd in third. Dowd number 14 almost lost it on that 20. Hughes number 9 in back of Dowd, and there's McGrath number 2 in good position with Larry Ward behind him. Or you could really tell the difference in power on this track. Look out Ryan Hughes. Oh my goodness, one for the highlight reel.
He knew he was in trouble right away. He got out of shape right at the face of that jump, and he just kind of stood next to the bike in the air. I think he did the right thing, but man, he looks like he's in pain.
A teammate battle for second place right here. John Dowd, number 14, right on the back tire of Ezra Lusk, number 11.
And you can see the trees and the flags really starting to blow around. The weather's threatening right now, and it messes with you a little bit when you're a rider. You can feel the wind pick up, sometimes the temperature change, and you start thinking, boy, are we going to see some rain? Is that really going to change things? And it messes with your train of thought. McGrath's still in contention, but he's got to, if he wants to run with Emig, which is what he's got to do to win this title, he's got to get up there and steal points from Jeff. And that's how to do it right there.
Tremendous on LaRocco's lead. Here comes Dowdy. John Dowd into second place.
Looked like Lusk just got hung up in that berm.
Lusk, another mistake on the outside. Jeremy McGrath makes the pass on Ezra. So it's McGrath into third, Dowdy into second. Oh, bar to bar. Jeremy and Dowd Look at that. What a great crowd to see it, too. Can McGrath hold on? They touch once again. Dowd comes back. Oh, what racing.
When I first got hurt, I'd be watching the races going, man, why don't they just wheelie over that one bump and square that off right there? And he's watching, too. Look at Jeremy. Same line again. This time he made it work.
Great desire from Jeremy McGrath to finally get by John Dowd once again. Can he hold on, or will Dowdy come back? Sky's getting darker and darker. So far, the rain has held off in this area. Here comes Dowd. Dowd with the edge on the inside. Oh, it looked like he surprised McGrath. John Dowd retakes second place. This has been an outstanding battle all race long. Oh, he threw his goggles off.
There was a time when Jeff was, we had to bleep out most of what he said, but he's certainly matured, and his interviews are very entertaining.
That's true, and of course he's overcome a speech impediment, and he's showing us his real self right now, making this moto look like practice. The checkers for Jeff Emig. It's Emig's 7th moto win in 13 motos this year. Hughes with a 39th and Albertine with a 37th place finish, David.
Well, I would much rather be on the far inside than the far outside. You see towards the outside and left of your screen, there's some empty spots. That's not the place to be.
Let's check it out. It looks like Dowd and Lusk fighting for the whole shot. Lusk, number 11. We'll give him the whole shot as Dowdy, number 14, takes to the inside. And it's Dowd now with the lead into the second turn.
Dowd just planned for that a little bit better. It did look like Lusk had the whole shot, but going into that big right-hand sweeper through the mechanics turn, Dowd had the inside edge.
This will be interesting with Emig on the pursuit. Can Dowd hold him off? Dowd very strong in the second motos.
This is for the overall. If Dowd can hold him off, he'll get it. That'll be his second in a row. I don't know. Emig looks pretty strong.
Challenge. Interesting corner. Oh, Emig goes down. Dowdy went wide, and the wheels went out from underneath Jeff Emig. Albertine is also down as they try to get started. How's Emig going to get turned around in there? Everybody's passing him. Oh, Kudrowski puts him back on the dirt. Brian Berry, John Dowd's mechanic. And stopwatch ticking away as he writes down the instructions for his leader. Lusk behind the leader, then Jeremy McGrath, and then number 5, Team Suzuki's Mike LaRocco.
You see Jeremy right there using so much body English to try to keep that bike a little lower to the ground, land on the downside of that plateau there. Get a good drive off the backside.
Jimmy Button, Team Chaparral, and Larry Ward kicks his back tire, and Larry goes down.
Looked like he was just trying to get in there and stay aggressive, keep the pressure on, just touch the back tire and high-sided.
Here's LaRocco's leap. We're only a few miles to the Indiana border. Mike LaRocco's home track. You know, I don't know why they call it LaRocco's leap. David, you were the first to jump it.
Well, I did it on a 500, so maybe that doesn't count.
And you're not from that area, right? Here's the big battle once again. It's for second place. Jeremy McGrath not letting Ezra Lusk off the hook. Showing him a wheel here and there, looking for a place to pass.
This is the McGrath I like to watch. Very creative, finding a different line everywhere. Got his wheel in, making the rider in front of him nervous, making him think about him, cover those lines, and when you do that, typically what will happen is the pace will slow down just a little bit because they're riding defensive, try to hold you back. And that could be the advantage of Dowd. He's starting to pull away just a little bit, but at the moment, it looks to me like Lusk and Jeremy are, whoa, Jeremy goes down.
Jeremy getting right back up. Restarting the engine to get back into this race. Needs those points, nice and quick, he's not hurt. Dowdy always with a great desire to win. It's obvious that he's not content with being a second-tier type rider. Jimmy Button stalling. And, of course, Larry Ward, who crashed behind Button, taking advantage of that stall and battling here with Ryan Hughes.
Just about got Hughes' rear tire right there as he got a little out of shape. Ward had been just a foot closer, he'd have gone down again.
Larry Ward, and now we've got another stall. Ryan Hughes. The battle for 7th is on. Look at this incredible charge by Jeff Emig.
a difference of lines, too, coming out of that corner. Emig carrying a lot of speed out wide.
Hughes is the next target for Jeff Emig, who started this run from near last when he went down hard and then got bumped when he was trying to get back into the race. Ryan looking back to see who was there. And of course, Jeff Emig really is probably more concerned and has the easy way around Ryan Hughes, just as you called it. Jeff Emig moves into 7th place, looking now for 6th place. As we mentioned, number 1, Jeff Emig, who had the whole shot and took a nice dominating victory in Moto number 1, went down early in this race and is fighting back all the way from about last to 5th and 6th positions. Right now, he is hounding Larry Ward to move up again.
The way he caught Larry Ward and the lines that he has out there, this is not going to be tough. Well, there he goes.
Made it look awful easy.
Right around him. And you know, you've got to have a lot of confidence in your training to go out there and ride that hard from that far back. And think of the energy he used getting up in that corner right there.
All the way back to 5th.
He got up twice from everyone running into him. So he's obviously in shape, very focused on where he wants to be, and that's back out front.
John Dow.
Boy, this must feel great. Southwick was like, well, okay, it's home track. But here, different conditions, different soil, winning again, earning it, it's got to feel really good.
Good starts, good strong performances all the way through. Checkers for John Dowd. A great race for this young man.
And so to round 9 and the 125 Finnish Grand Prix. The Wild Boar having a look, and Bob Moore getting some manipulation before the start of the race. Down to the line they go. VR looking fit and strong. Coyote slowly banking more and more points every second weekend. He knows that there's a world championship at stake. All the riders in Finland. Coyote right up against the camera. 15-second board is up and running. This is round 9 of the 125 World Championship. Who's going to get the all-important hole shot? Bob Moore, normally very, very quick out of the gate. Tony Marshall right up against our camera. The blue machine and the blue shirt, bike number 65. Bob Moore goes out in front right from the beginning. Tony Marshall through to 3rd already. Coyote behind him. Well, can you believe that? And then Jamie Dobb. So Bob Moore has gone out in Finland right to the front of the pack already. So Coyote looking for championship points. Tony Marshall started off well. Jamie Dobb got a wonderful start but crashed. He's now picked himself up facing the right way, and he's got all that work to do all over again. There's Jamie Dobb in our picture now. Came out of the gate very, very quickly. And as the season has progressed, he's looked better and better. Bob Moore intends retiring at the end of the year to take up management for Honda in the US of A, and that'll be a loss to the sport, I'm sure, but his expertise will be well used on some other youngsters. The world champion from 94, and a very, very popular rider indeed. So 3 more races only for Bob Moore, and then it will be pipe and slippers for him, and he can start passing on some of that knowledge that he's gained over the years to the younger riders. Here in Finland today, doing a great job of work. Number 12, Marcio, always there, and of course Coyote, he is looking to be the new 1997 world champion, but the way things are going, it could go right to the wire in Holland in a few weeks' time, and it's a long way from over. He just seems to be there, and then he has it to do all over again. So Bob Moore looking very, very positive today. So is Mascio, Puzar, Coyote, Vial. Vullerman having a much better ride than he has had during the year. And nice to see Paul Malin back again as well. Paul Malin left it far too late in the year. There's nothing that he can do about that. He better start getting ready for 1998. Plagued by injuries, Tony Marshall aboard the ARD Yamaha. I think his legs only just reached down to the foot pegs. little tiny guy, but he does a Herculean job of work aboard that Yamaha. Bob Moore just making it look so easy. Perhaps by announcing his retirement, he's taken a lot of pressure off himself. He's had some crazy injuries during the year, nothing of them that needed plaster of Paris, just some attention that kept him out of races. He messed up his elbow pretty badly, and then a finger, and then a wrist, and that's not been good for him. So Mascio, he's come good on a couple of days, but he's never been over consistent. The man that has been very, very consistent is Federici, but a win for Bob Moore, and that will no doubt please him aplenty. Points on the board and to the podium. Straight back to the gate. Jamie Dobb on the outside again. Can he keep it in there? This is where he runs out of legs. That Suzuki just didn't have the power to get him into that right-hander. He was so well positioned, and if he could have just got through that first corner, that would have been wonderful. Now, the track's starting to break up, and now they've got plenty of traction when they break that top crust off the circuit, but it's Vial. Also, he has come back from injury. It's kept him out of the middle part of the season. Vial is going to have to work very, very hard to stay up with the championship leaders with Federici and Puzar, and of course that man, Kiko Chiodi, twice runner-up in the GP World Championships in 94 and 95, but he desperately wants it this year for himself and of course for Yamaha. Yamaha predominantly strong in the 125 class all year. They've been first, second and third in almost every Grand Prix around the world, and they certainly are the bike to beat. They're rumored to be pushing out 40 horsepower plus, and that's huge horsepower out of a 125 machine. The Rinaldi bikes, incredibly strong, and of course Bob Moore with a very, very quick motor in that machine as well. So Puzar, he's been there every single weekend, but Chiodi, he just seems to dominate. He has not missed a heat. He's not had one DNF on that Yamaha throughout the year so far. 3 races remain. He's got a couple of very, very difficult races. He will have to go to Slovakia, to Belgium, and then the final showdown in Holland. And if he can piece all those together, Chico Chiodi may, and I say again, may be the new world champion for Yamaha in 1997. Right now, he's still got plenty of work to do. He's still got Puzar to chase around. He's done all through the year so far. Puzar, Federici, and Chiodi. There's been nothing separating them. And all of a sudden, Jamie Dobb has come right on the Suzuki late in the season, but Dobb has got better and better, and he's looking very, very good. He'll be wanting to fly the Union Jack at the Motocross Des Nations, I'm sure. The big question mark, will he get picked? Dave Thorpe, the man that is due to pick the team, and there's talk, of course, of him riding for Dave Thorpe next year, so that's an interesting scenario. Chiodi takes the win, Puzar takes second, and Jamie Dobb onto the podium. What a great result. And the smile on Chiodi's face slowly getting bigger and bigger, closer and closer to that inevitable world title. A smile from the wild boar. And isn't it wonderful to see Jamie Dobb on the podium yet again? And so to Venezuela, the heavens opened, the 250 GP is about to commence. Moniper Foots and Winfield Suzuki are ready. Quick plug check on the bike of Tortelli. And then in the mud, they all start the great trek with the pit crews down to the line for race number 1. That's the end of practice, and Tortelli will get himself down to the line along with everybody else. Welly boot country. Heat number 1 in Venezuela, the all-important hole shot. Who is going to get there? Well, Talon Volan was there. 39 bikes behind him. Stefan Everett starts to make a move. He will stamp his authority, goes through on the inside. This is the world champion that we all have come to respect. Yves de Maria having a very, very good ride there as well. Then it's number 7, that's Pit Byra. Mane Bafut pulls off the circuit, and another win for Stefan Everts. Straight back down to the line. Heat number 2. Away they go. Heat number 2 in Venezuela. Who's it going to be? This time we've got some Kawasaki's up there. Can Tortelli get in amongst them or not? They've gone down in the first corner. So is Stefan Everts. He wants to get that bike just facing the right way quickly. Tortelli has gone to the front. Sebastian Tortelli, who started the year in sensational style, then went out with injuries. Now he's back again. Frederick Bolli is there. Tortelli has gone down. Big time. An awesome crash for Tortelli. That's going to cost him dearly, and he could well be out for a long, long time. He came down mighty hard. Meanwhile, Befutz is keeping the flag flying. Stefan Everts is coming back again, but he went down in that first corner pile-up. But the winner is going to be number 7, Pit Byra, the popular German. But Stefan Everts hasn't finished yet. He dives inside Mane Befutz to take second. Mane Befutz will go to third, and so to the podium. The French Grand Prix, the 500 GP about to get underway. Umbrellas are still out, but they are sun umbrellas rather than rain umbrellas at the moment. Trampers Parker making his own start line. He'll want to get out of the gate very, very quickly. The mighty roar of the 500s that have become so familiar and make for wonderful racing. What a busy corner. The first corner, Daryl King was really boxed in there completely. Number 42, that's Keith Bowen. He goes down. We've got pickup sticks on the circuit yet again. Joel Smets has gone to the front. That is the man currently leading the World Championship Series. He'll want to keep that up all the way through. Smets, Daryl King, Shane King, Bartolini, Kurt Nickel. All of them want valuable points here today in France. The circuit very, very dry indeed. And they know that they've got 2 ferocious heats of racing, and the points are so valuable. They've lost one of the races on the GP calendar through adverse weather conditions, and that was cancelled earlier on, so they can't afford to drop any more. Trampers Parker on his own little private charge there. Shane King wide open and on the gas. The Husky chasing as well. That is Trampers Parker, up and over he goes. Kurt Nickel directly behind him. These new YZM 400s have really brought a lot of interest into the 500 class. I'm sure maintenance-wise it's going to be a very, very popular bike for 1998, and a lot of people will be after them for racing and for pleasure as well. Sunday morning type pleasure. What a wonderful machine that would be to get out in the bush with a YZM 400. All you need is a healthy checkbook, and away you go. Bartolini can show you how to ride it, and you just do the paying. So right now, up front, Shane King doing what he knows best, leading a 500 GP. He's been there before. He knows all about the rigors of Grand Prix racing. Joel Smets, the man that wants to take over the number 1 plate, breathing down his neck at the moment. And Kurt Nickel can see ahead of him. Daryl King going inside Joel Smets, and he makes the move. Can he make it stick? Daryl King, a wonderful move. You could see while we were looking over Kurt Nickel's head, Daryl King just dived inside there and said, I'll pick up another position. Thank you very much indeed. Now he's got to make it stick, because Smets will know where he had the opportunity to take him, and he'll want to come back very, very quickly. So King and Smets, the 2 of them on a charge at the moment. And then tucked in the middle of them, number 22, that's Trampers Parker. So he wants to get in on that train as well. Very often you can get caught up in that, and it just drags you along. The adrenaline starts to pump, and you just get caught up in a very, very quick train. And that's what Trampers Parker is doing right now. But up front, It's still Shane King doing a great job of work. Well, look at this side by side. There's going to be no brotherly love here whatsoever. Daryl King goes through on the inside past Shane, and I'm sure they'll be having a family discussion about that tonight. So Daryl King moves up, a very, very good passing maneuver there on the inside of Shane King, and that won't do him any harm whatsoever. So whilst Daryl King continues to pull away at the front of the pack, there is a huge race ensuing for second, third, fourth and fifth. All the way around the circuit, positions are changing. Joel Smets wants extra valuable points if he can get them. Shane King doesn't want to give up his particular place. Parker wants to get in with the pack as well. So Daryl King still way out ahead, but Eckenbach has come through to second. Somebody has made a mistake. Shane King has gone missing. Trampus Parker is through to third. Trampus Parker is on an absolute charge at the moment. They know that there's not much race time left. Daryl King must surely get the win. Shane King has gone missing. Eckenbach has had a wonderful ride. Daryl King takes the win. Trampus Parker must surely come through for second. And a very well-earned position for Eckenbach, third overall.
Joel Smets, how was the first race for you?
Yeah, I took a real good start, and after a few laps I made a small mistake. Shane could pass me, and when I planned my pass again for first place, I got a big rock on my goggles, and I didn't have any good vision anymore for a few laps. I had to slow down. I couldn't really battle for my place, and yeah, that's why I made a few more mistakes and why I had to slow down. But I'm happy I'm losing just 1 point on Shane and 3 on Kurt.
Well, you heard from Joel Smets. He's got some work to do this afternoon in France. Can he take it away? 40 of the best 500 riders in the world. Do they all get through the first corner? There's a lot of dust there. Oh, and in a pile behind them, orange we see, Kurt Nickel is the man that went down. Bike number 91. Kurt Nickel caught up in that. What a great shame. So he's got too much work to do. Number 1, Shane King, the man that did well in the first race, but his brother came through and zapped him eventually. Daryl King, that's his brother behind him again. King, King and King. Sounds like a firm of solicitors, but they're doing a great job of work here at the French Grand Prix. So Shane King has gone to the front very quickly. Trampus Parker has got on the gas very, very much sooner this time, and he's looking very much stronger. Number 6, Van Doorn is in there as well. Kurt Nickel, he's going to have to do just far too much work right from the back of the pack, but at the front of the pack still Shane King with that number 1 plate, and in the 500 class you've got to do a lot of work to get that number 1 plate. That's the man that would dearly like to take it away, Daryl King on the Husky. And where is Joel Smets? Bike number 2, there is Joel Smets. That is the man leading the series overall at the moment. We interviewed him at the end of the first heat. He said he had a problem with a rock going into his goggles, but he's quite happy with the bike and with the circuit. And I'm sure so is Shane King. He knows that there's a checkered flag right there. He will take the win. Daryl King will take second, and a fine ride from Delapine. And so to the line in Indonesia and the 250 GP. Tortelli is missing. He is injured and will be out for the rest of the season. And Yves de Maria has taken over that ride in the short term. And I wonder what he'll be able to do aboard a brand new Kawasaki. Well, straight to the front, out of the gate goes Pedbeira, the man that was so strong in Venezuela just a couple of weeks ago, and looking better and better. Stefan Everts almost on the verge of wrapping up another world title for himself and Honda, but he has still got work to do. Look for bike number 4. That will be the bike of Yves de Maria, and I wonder if he can step in to the shoes of Tortelli. with a bike prepared by Jan de Groot, sponsored by Oxbow. Very, very quick machine indeed. But at the moment, out front flying the flag. Pitbyra has gone out there very, very quickly as well. Talon Volan from America. He is having himself a very good ride. So it's Byra. And look at the Kawasaki. That is Demaria. Demaria, first time out on the Kawasaki, riding for the injured Sebastian Tortelli, who has got a back injury. And on all accounts that we hear will be out until the end of the year at least. That Kawasaki in the short term has been given to Yves Demaria. And what a great job he's doing at the moment. Third overall, first time out on the brand new Jan de Groot JHK prepared Kawasaki machine. This 250 is very, very quick. Now he has Talon Voland ahead of him. That's the American rider, assisted by his brother Tyson, living and working out of Europe for 1997. But what a sensation for Yves Demaria. He's got the Oxbow shirt. All that's missing is some of the designer wear that we see Tortelli with all around the paddocks of Europe and, of course, at the Supercross events. Right now, Stefan Everts starting to charge his way through to the front. Traxler has gone out. He's got himself a problem. He's not going much further in this race. Talon Voland is going further. Talon Voland wants to get to the checkered flag. He knows that he's got a hard-charging Yves Demaria and Stefan Everts behind him. And wouldn't he love to keep it that way? Talon Voland, he's had some injuries during this year. He would desperately love the checkered flag and the top step on the podium, but he's going to have to work very, very hard to get there. Stefan Everts doesn't give much away. Mark Eastwood on a charge. Mark Eastwood ahead of Stefan Everts. Everts has now gone through. Incredible shots, those aerial shots of this very, very well prepared circuit, and it really does look good. The Indonesian Grand Prix. Well, there's not too much race time left. Where is the high-flying Yves Demaria? Colin Dugmore still there as well. Plenty of riders still circulating. Marnik Befoots just says, get out the way if you don't mind. So he moves up. Jockey Carlson gets pushed out of the way. Marnik Befoots, he wants to get through. Oh, look at this, Talon Voland and Yves Demaria riding so smoothly. That Kawasaki is very, very strong indeed. Voland wants to close the gate. Demaria wants to go through. He's got the inside line. It's a right-hand corner. Well, he ran a little bit wide, but he's gone to the front. But it's very, very close. Yves Demaria aboard the Oxbow Kawasaki JHK prepared has gone to the front. First time out for Yves Demaria in this incredible race. Talon Voland has now been pushed back to second. The Indonesian 250 GP, a checkered flag. What a debut for Yves Demaria and JHK Kawasaki. Well, there's no time for celebrations. Demaria will want to get straight back onto the line and see if he can do it again. Wouldn't that be incredible? First time out, replacing Tortelli. Race number 2. Demaria, the race winner in heat number 1. Can he do it a second time? Well, there's a Kawasaki up there. Whether it's him or not, we can't see at this stage. He's certainly in the top 3 riders at the moment. Lap number 1. Where is Stefan Everts? Where is Pitbyra? Well, we'll find out that very, very quickly indeed. Looks as if Marnik Befoots has gone to the front. That could well be Demaria in second spot. Wouldn't that be an amazing start to his Kawasaki career if it is to become a career? So bike number 3, Talon Voland has gone to the front. Yves Demaria has gone to second. It looks like Stefan Everts back to third. No, it's not. In third spot at the moment is Pitbyra. So that's an interesting trio up front. Voland up front, then it's Demaria, then it's Pitbyra. 3 of the quickest riders in the world. And if you can just get Stefan Everts to link up with that train, then you will have 4 of the very best in the world. I cannot believe this incredible start from Demaria. Tortelli is out and injured, perhaps until the end of the year. Stefan Everts now goes charging away after them. So does Jockey Carlson. I don't think they're going to get that far away because Stefan Everts knows what he's got to do. He's just got to rack up some points. The season is starting to come to a close mathematically for Stefan Everts. and he knows he needs another world title. This is what he promised Honda at the beginning of the year, and so far he's been good to his word. At every single event he's pulled in some points. But De Maria, the sensation of the day in Indonesia, and Kawasaki must be really excited about the man that they've got in the seat of that Oxbow JHK prepared Kawasaki. What a charge is on at the moment. Talon Voland, the very quick American. He crashed earlier in the year. He had that very, very big endo coming down the hill. Threw it away big time, but he's come back better and stronger. Now all of a sudden he says, what have I got to do? I've got the Yamaha going right. Now I've got this man, Yves De Maria, on an absolute Kawasaki charge. What a great job of work he's doing. He won the first heat. He will be absolutely ecstatic if he can make it 2 out of 2. What a way to debut for a brand new sponsor. If ever you wanted the sponsor's attention, De Maria has got it right now. They thought they had a sensation with Sebastian Tortelli. The checkered flag is there. De Maria makes it 2 out of 2. What a happy chappy up on the podium. More rain in Belgium, and can that man, Joel Smets, extend his lead in the 500 GP? He's got plenty of work to do. King and King, Shane and Daryl, they'll have different ideas. And in the waterlogged Belgium circuit, who's going to get through the first corner? The big 500s, straight out of the gate. It's Daryl King, bike number 5 on the Husqvarna. He goes to the front very, very quickly indeed, and I'm sure he'll want to stay there. He is more than capable of showing a clean pair of heels to these 500 riders. So when they get higher up the circuit, the rain has drained off a little better. Number 3, that's Johansson who's in there. This, of course, is now the territory of these incredible YZM 400s. We've seen them in the press. They go into production for 1998. And I'm sure there's going to be a queue a mile long to pick up those machines. It's proved to be a sensation. Kurt Nickel, he's keeping it all together. Joel Smets, that's the man that is leading the 500 World Championship at the moment. Oh, and Van Dorn comes down. He had a big one there. The two of them came together. And that will be an interesting shot in slow motion when you see it. The bike chased him across the circuit. But that's the man in the lead at the moment on the new YZM 400, Bartolini, and he must surely be set for a win today. Chased by Daryl King. Joel Smets, he knows he's just got to rack up some points. He's got a world championship at stake. And there it is, another win for this incredible machine and for Bartolini. But there's not too much time for handshaking or backslapping. Mr. Bartolini, get back down to the line and show us that you can do it all over again. Well, that Yamaha really has caused a stir. Not only did it do so well in the 500 class, it won the final Supercross at Las Vegas, and what a debut for that machine. Heat number 2 in Belgium. Can they do it all over again with Bartolini? 2 out of 2. Well, he's a long way back. I don't know if he can come back from there. He is a long way back. I think it could well be Daryl King that is up front at the moment. We'll have a look and see. All we can see is the number 72 vest of Bartolini quite far back. That is Daryl King on the Husqvarna. Listen to that incredible exhaust note. That is purest motorcycling and motocross at its absolute best. Peter Johansson, very, very much better position in this race. And of course, what bike has he got? None other than another YZM 400. So they're everywhere. Shane King on bike number 1. Well, that's not Kurt Nickel with a number 1 sign. That's him shaking his fist in frustration. He has a mechanical problem and pulls off the circuit. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, there's one man on bike number 5, Daryl King. He has had a very, very good ride. Peter Johansson on the second of the YZM 400s. People cannot praise that bike highly enough. 5-valve cylinder head. It's a high-tech piece of equipment, and the man in the street can go and buy it over the counter before the end of 1997. There it goes away from us, but it's still Daryl King leading the 500 GP with Johansson on bike number 3 in second spot. Shane King on bike number 1, and they know that they're running out of time. Bartolini starting to work his way through a couple of important positions, but he didn't get the best of starts, and that has cost him plenty. Joel Smets comes into our screen, and he knows that he could well be the world champion at the end of September. Very, very valuable points today. Keep it wide open. Wring his neck if you have to. The crowds tell Joel Smets exactly what he's got to do, but they don't have to tell Daryl King that he's about to get another checkered flag, and Peter Johansson on the YZM behind him. What a great day. Can he catch him, I wonder? Daryl King, he knows exactly where he is, and he's done enough. So King on the Husqvarna takes the win in the second heat, and then behind him will be Peter Johansson, and he really has done a very, very good job on the YZM 400. Everybody needs to be congratulated that's been involved with that machine. They have an absolute winner right out of the box. Onto the podium goes a smiling Joel Smets, ecstatic Joel Smets. Listen to the Belgium supporters. What a great weekend for that man.